Okay, based upon what happened yesterday, we're going to check out the sound a little earlier than expected. Had some difficulties yesterday. How's the sound today? Just want to check that out, and then we'll get it going. Hopefully the problems that we had yesterday are fixed. Okay, so let me just make sure of that. Okay, good morning, everybody. And Unholy Toledo, if you can hear me, we did leave a message, a voicemail message for you, and we left something in your messenger on Facebook. How's the sound, everybody? White Sack Al, who usually gives it, sound is good. There you go. That's all I need to know. And you know what's next? Welcome aboard, everybody, on a lovely Friday morning. Welcome aboard. Happy that the sound is better than it was yesterday. And ladies and gentlemen, the reason the sound is better is because Greg is back in the chat room. Holy, 2 days without Greg equals one hell of a lousy podcast. Anyway, and we're good at that too. Good morning to Greg and to the Amazons and Dale Hansen making his first appearance in the chat room. Good morning to Dale. Actually, Dale could be a female, so Dale. I knew a girl named Roy Rogers, right, George? Roy Rogers' girlfriend was Dale, right? And who was the, and of course you had Carol Dale, and you had, name all the Dales, George, come on. Morning to Doug Boyle. Doug, you Saturday or Sunday, please put it up in the chat room. Good morning to George. I can't even ask George what day he is. SP Fan, good morning. Timothy, my hooker, Traveler, Unholy Toledo, White Sack Al, Zelmo. It's a great day, and I'll tell you something, when you say great day, we had, it was crazy. Just a wonderful time seeing what fantasy baseball is supposed to be about. Dale Earnhardt, there you go. Good morning to Dale Hansen. We spent the day, or at least part of the day, with, just terrific. Some terrific, who? Yeah, Jay Bass. I was going to say that with Jay Bass and some of his league members. Wonderful people, and that's what, I'll tell you what, it's what fantasy sports is supposed to be about. We experienced yesterday what sports was supposed to be about. Yeah, that's right, Dale Long, the first baseman for the Pirates and the Cubbies, all right? So thank you so much, Jay Bass, for a wonderful day yesterday, and really appreciate it. Okay, upward and onward we go. Unholy Toledo, check your phone messages. Well, there's Jay Bass in the chat room. Thank you so much, Jay, if you didn't hear it. It's really, when guys sit around with pizza and they talk about how you sniped me in the draft and you sniped me on the fab budget, isn't that what baseball, isn't that what fantasy sports is supposed to be, right? So there you go. That's right. He's a left-handed catcher also, Dale Long. There you go. I'll tell you what, you come to this chat room and you learn about left-handed catchers. Nobody. Phil Chaplin is here. There's very few places you can go and really talk about baseball the way we talk about it here. Okay? So, all right, let's just really talk about it, okay? Don't forget, Sunday morning on Sirius Radio, 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern Time. If you don't mind, we would really appreciate you flooding the phones. Flood. Now, you know how I've been talking about how the culture of this country has changed? How has it changed? The kids are playing Xbox. The kids are playing PlayStation. I told you about how I've been playing a little bit. And binge watching on TV. We no longer every Monday night watch, every Friday night watch Dallas. All right? We remember, but it's every episode. We watch in a couple of hours, couple of days. Major League Baseball is taking a new position now. Cardinals chairman Bill DeWitt came out, and I read this is an article out there in St. Louis, and he says the 162-game season has become too long. Now, I said that the other day. I'm in favor of starting the season in the month of May and ending the season in the month of August. You got May, June, July, August. If you're scoring at home, that's 4 months. Now, DeWitt says he thinks 162 games is a lot. He's willing to go back to 154. A lot of travel, the grind, and I'll tell you something. People it's not the shortened game. It's the shortened season that they want. A shorter regular season would open up a week needed for those playoff games without plunging the season into November or even starting it in March. You start in May and you end it in August. You got 4 months to play baseball. Let me tell you something. I think the public wants that. Okay? That's what I think. Now, I'm not going to talk about the Astros, but I will talk about something that I've been watching. All 30 teams have been caught cheating to some extent. I mean, Bobby Thompson shot her around the world. That's the one, the one sent the Giants to the 1951 World Series. It's up for debate whether Thompson was given a heads up on what pitch was coming. The Giants team if anybody's still alive, admitted to have someone in center field with a telescope stealing the catcher's signs. That's been going on for a while, okay? The person would then alert the Giants bullpen with a buzzer. Yes, a buzzer. And the relievers would send signals to the hitter at the plate. I mean, come on, what else is going to happen, okay? And Thompson admitted to receiving signals that season, but wouldn't go far as saying he was tipped off on a particular pitch, especially that one. The Braves once had players dress as fans and sent them to the outfield bleachers to steal signs and signal to the hitters. This is what I'm reading about. The Phillies had a bullpen coach who was caught using binoculars and thought to be stealing signs in 2010. The Mariners went as far as forcing their grounds crew to alter the size of the batter's box to gain an edge. The Red Sox were accused of illegally stealing signs under MLB's investigation, and we don't know exactly. That's going to be wrapped up by the end of next. So come on, everybody. It's just really, and I really wonder, will the unions now, the Major League Baseball Players Association, will they demand suspensions to their players? Okay, will they demand it? So it's going to be an interesting player negotiation, no question about it. Will they demand it? Okay. Okay, Mitchell Harston clicked on the link. There you go. There's the guide. All right, there you go. Yeah, I put a link on there and it didn't work. So figures, right? Okay. Good morning to Mitch Harston, who has just joined us. DK Lush is here. Mal Pal is here. And there he is. The Razzball prospect expert. Michael, I listened to your show. You are fantastic, just as I always thought. Love you, man. And it's okay. You got, as a prospect, Michael etching the kitchen table as becoming one of the top Major League prospect guys in the league. And I always love to promote him. So there you go, Mike. Love you to do a prospect podcast on our site, not every week or just whenever you can. So please let me know if you can do that, and be happy to post it up there. And your friends in the chat room would love it and love to see you do your podcast again. So there you go. Michael etching the kitchen table from the great state of Iowa. Okay. SP Fan, good morning. Timothy, my hooker, traveler, White Sox gal, on Holino. Don't forget, check your inbox, okay? There you go. So we're doing good. All right, now Andy taking care of everybody in the chat room. That's does anybody? There's a Tout Wars. We have a table. I don't think anybody. We have this thing. We're required. Believe it or not, okay, we get charged money and then we're required to contribute to this table. Unbelievable. But anyway, and the question this week, I wonder if anybody else has read the Tout Wars table. It's a question every week. It comes up. We all answer it, except some. And it's actually okay, But the question this week, should Shohei Ohtani actually be pitcher eligible? All right? He didn't pitch last year. Remember, he did play last year. I was one of the few who said no, he should not be eligible for pitcher because he played last year and didn't play that position. It's different when a pitcher is out because of an injury or a Tommy John. That's different. But he played last year, but did not play as a pitcher. So I don't think he should be. And I was one of the few. So what do you think? Should Ohtani be considered a pitcher this year? Should he have eligibility as a pitcher? Or should Shohei Ohtani not be a pitcher? Like to see what you have to say about that one. Really, that's pretty good. Okay, there you go. Now Mitchell Horston can hear. I'll tell you what, us old guys, there you go. We got those old guys here, but we can hear. Thank you, Mitchell. The auction spreadsheet is going to be coming out probably in a day or so. All right, I'm $21 off. And I'll tell you what, for the mixed league 12 team, there's just too many freaking players. If you're in a mixed league, 12-team league, just get the best players you can. Because the other guys will fill in. Everybody's going to have some of the other guys. You might as well have the best guys. White Sox Al says eligibility after 5 I agree. He should not automatically be eligible for pitcher. That's my opinion. Okay? All right. In terms of batting orders. We got some... But before I go into the batting orders... I think one of the hardest names this year and forever. Does anybody know what Louis? Is it Louis? I know what it is. Louis Robert. I still have a hard time with that. Some people call him Luis Robert. Some people call him Louis Robert. Some people call him Louis Robert. What the hell's his name? The Chicago Cubs. Big smile by Wilson Contreras after we learned that Anthony Rizzo would likely follow Chris Bryant at the top of the order, and that's going to be great because Bryant hits a lot of doubles, and Rizzo has lots of RB. It's going to be great. He really can't wait for that to happen. The scenario of Bryant and Roberts would set up more run-producing opportunities for Javier Baez, Kyle Schwarber, and Contreras. By the way, Contreras hit 18 doubles and 24 home runs in 105 games. It could really turn Baez and Contreras, or maybe Schwarber, into this season's version of Bryant or Rizzo. So I would really adjust my rankings on my thoughts on Contreras and Schwarber. And even Baez goes up a notch, okay? So this thing with Rizzo and Bryant at the top of the order really comes at an intriguing time in the careers of Baez, Schwarber, and Contreras. Baez, 27, he finished second in 2018, remember, in the NL MVP voting. He drove in a career and a league-high 111 runs. But last season, if you remember, he suffered a fractured thumb at the beginning of September, missed the entire month, and still wound up with 85 RBIs. 10th in the National League with a .333 batting average with runners in scoring position. Okay? .410 RBI percentage, according to Bill James. The Major League average is .326. Schwarber, his .233 average with runners in scoring position was marginally better than his average with the bases empty, .220. But he did finish strong. Remember, Schwarber hit about .290 with he had 12 doubles, 13 home runs, and almost 40 RBIs over the last 7 weeks. The Chicago Cubs, we're not taking a look at the Cubs as a very strong team because they didn't do a lot. We're fooled by thinking that the teams that did a lot in the offseason are the contending teams, and the teams that did not do a lot are not the contenders. But the Cubs are banking on Schwarber, had 92 RBIs in 2019, second on the team to Rizzo. And I'll tell you something. Whenever Bryant is leadoff, hits a double, he's putting a pitcher into the stretch position, and it takes, look, the pitcher's uncomfortable because it's not the way he envisioned things going. So it's going to be very interesting. Contreras, this lineup sets Contreras to drive a